My name is Maggie, and I work with a visualization company based in Shanghai, and we call like at ATCHAIN, ATCHAIN. And the name is referring to the name ATCHAIN. It means like linking art with technology. So it's just helping our client to easily to remember our name. And we are established in 2009, and it's almost like 11 or 12 years old, years since establishment. And for now, we have around 150 staff, and which divided into 9 departments. And our visual studio will contain around like 120 people. So which will be divided into like the visual still studio, video production studio, and the virtual reality tech studio. And we also have like me as account manager, and we also have like a project coordinator. Of course, we have admin or IT department. So for now, I think even though we are based in Shanghai and we're based in China, but luckily our client is all over the world. So since our established into like 11 years ago, we have established a very long-term relationship with our client, mainly architect clients. So mainly based in New York City, based in the States, based in Europe. And yeah, so referring to our workflow or the product mix, so I think it will be divided into like maybe 6 or 7 main category: the visual studio, visual still rendering, and the panoramic rendering. And we also do video, animation, and the virtual reality and augmented reality. And we were also helping with web design and shoe suit design. So besides architecture client, we also have a part of like our developer client, and still, both like in China or Asia or the States or the world. Yeah, so that's a very short briefing about our company. And then I'm going to share some like the workflow or the support material we will hope to get from our client when we really get started with a real production. Okay, here. So this is mainly a workflow for the animation or material results we hope to get from our client and what our client will expect from us for a video production. So typically we will say for the schedule, we will prefer to get like 2 weeks for a video production. And the video production is actually will be, we internally will divide the video production into like 3 like a main line. The first one is still the modeling work. And typically, if it's not for urban planning project, we will get a modeling team reserving around 3 to 4 people working simultaneously to finish all the model related work. And for the video part, typically it will be divided into like the 3D fly-through part, 2D multimedia, and 3D multimedia. And for each part, we will around, it's like for the animation. So typically we will have 1 animation director who will be charging of all the animation, the storyboarding and the camera path drafting and the supervisor of all the sequence quality. And then we will have a few like animation renderer. Suppose we have one video and which will contain 5 animation cameras. So probably we will have 5 people to be reserved for specifically cameras, but they all belongs to one single team and they will be supervised by the animation director. So how internally we will arrange for our team resources. So the first one is about the typical like client will feel like it's easier. The first time client will say, okay, whether it will be very complicated to communicate with an animation, but we say, it's okay, but we're trying to make the process easier. So we will say like that's my definition, but what we will need from our client is more about two main category materials. The first one is about the video production related, and second one is the project background related materials. So for the video part, for the video production itself, so you know, every video, every animation is actually trying to tell a story. So what's a logic? What's a storyboard? So that might be the main dominant material we will hope to get from our client. And I'm going to open a storyboard here to give a narration here. Okay, so the storyboard. Okay, so that's one simple storyboard I might share. So it's like the client will, so this is a storyboard, it's a dominant logic to composite all the whole video sequence. So like this as simple. So the name, the project name, and that's how the video segment will be coming through. It's like, okay, the client would like to have the location analysis first. So that's the base fire. So from China, from Shenzhen. And then it's about the whole Shenzhen area, different zone. And that's about the, I feel like a key element. And then to analysis the another parcels. And then comes to the project site, project zoom site, and give a bit like the local, maybe important areas we need to note it for. And zoom in into the new town and give a site. So all this segment is actually how we will be placed in our animation. It's like client will give us the logic, give us a sequence, and what we are going to think about is how to make them animated, how to make the diagram more animated, noted. So that's the storyboard. And then comes a line, there's some arrows show the transportation. So how we make them animated. So that's what we will be thinking about. Yeah. So that's the, okay, that, and this as well. So it's like, okay, this goes to actual analysis diagram part. And we will have a base by the site location here. And we will note with some like a metro line. And then the second part is about the some public area and the different pilots. And then comes with the function. And comes with the yeah, this is also like functional diagram. Then comes with the massing analysis. So that's a sequence. This is just the sequence. The client will indicate how we are going to follow. Yeah. Yeah, it's been growing up, a lot of arrows, a lot of like notes and the movement diagrams here. Control, yeah. So that's how typical like our client will give us as a storyboard. And then for the animation, the whole video, for the whole video, I will divide that video into like three main projects. The first one is fly through. And the second one is multimedia. And the third one is the 3D multimedia. So back to the storyboard here. Okay, so let me show a video here and which will indicate which part will be about 3D fly through and which part is about 2D multimedia and which part is about 3D multimedia. Okay, I'm going to share a video here. Okay, so these all about this kind of what we are seeing is the animation is about the 3D fly-through part. Its movement is like a camera movement, and we create a real scenarios to give the real map information, give the best architecture expression. And then here comes with the 3D fly-through, 3D multimedia to show the massing analysis, to show the segment, to show the diagram, to show the different puzzles, different functions. Like each sequence, the client will indicate how the sequence will be moving, but how to make them animated, that's what we will be thinking about. This is about like 2D multimedia, and then comes with 3D fly-through again. That's one, and I might show another one which will include, which will have more 2D multimedia parts included. Maybe this one. Okay, so for this video, this will be about like this part is we have a few like the drone footage, like the video results here, and this comes with a 3D fly-through part. It's all about like animated cameras to show the past, to show the story. So this is about like someone was talking about the design concept. And this part will be defined as like 2D multimedia part. And this is about like site analysis. And this is also about like 2D multimedia part. Then comes with like a 3D analysis. This is 2D as well. So for the animation production, typically to make sure we are always in a right track, we will have a few progress to be provided to our client during the animation production progressing. So the first thing, like we will mainly divide the production into 5 like different phases. The first phase is still like a gather meeting and brainstorming together with our client, and can be varied like VC, Zoom meetings, or WebEx, anytime, any platform will work with us. And when we have all the information here, so it's actually a real actual, progressing starts. So typically, like rendering, the modeling work and the animation study will be proceeding simultaneously. You know, for the animation, for the architecture animation, it's about the architectural presentation, it's about the animation path storyboard. So this two part of work will be working simultaneously. So for the to help our client to check geometry part, we will provide this type of like the still the model draft. Maybe we will randomly, it's like we will randomly choose a few cameras to select cameras from the model for our client to check whether geometry is correct. Yeah, whether the geometry is correct, the contact information is correct. Then that's about the geometry check. So which being shown here. And also we will also show a few like animation path preview for our client to review. And I got another sample here. And it shows here. Yeah, as you can tell, like this is all being mocked up by in a like the white model or a very rough model draft. So we just using the preliminary model to test out the camera path. And the client can crop the still and give us comments and also let us know, okay, from maybe which second to which second, which will be the comments about the animation path. So this is really about like the very, just about the camera preview. There's no lighting, there's no materiality expression, there's no music, but it's really about camera path confirmation and check. And during this stage, the client's comment, we would love to have the comments from our client. It's mainly about whether the animation path speed is okay, and whether the scenario we had the animation path is good, and whether like this animation movement is right, or this need to move further right or further up, or we have to omit with a few seconds from which second to which second. Yeah, that's how the animation path will be showing. And once the animation path and the geometry are both confirmed, we will get started with the animation rendering and the post-production phase. And during this phase, we are going to show a few animation stills selected from each animation cameras. It's like here. So we will select maybe around like 2 stills from each camera to do some lighting test for our client to check whether entourage lighting details is good or any comments. That's how that's a draft that we will be relying on to help for our client to check about the animation details. And then typically if schedule is a bit tight, we will, after this like maybe 1 or 2 round of animation check, we will go with the final animation render directly. And that's how the final animation will be look like. It's around like the resolution for the final animation will be 1920, and it can be different format, MW, like the MP4, different format, or will all work with us. Yeah, that's how the final animation will turn out. Yeah. And this is a non-watermark. And that's what we're during the process, what we will be providing to our client. And I know like the most difficult part is like client will concern like how we make comments about the geometry, about the camera pass, right? So I have a few samples here. So this is a sample like client will be commenting about the geometry part. So they were just given based on the screenshot, based on the model draft still we were sending. They were like, okay, so refer to the reference image for materiality. And zebra crossing in our same and since being missing in your view. So just to indicate this kind of a note. And it's like take out the green pass here. And this is about the retail part. And the bright tired pavings, the reference image is no great effort. And this is also about geometry. Okay, remove stone benches for foreground images, they're looking a bit too busy. And the bright tire paving, see reference image, no gray aspects. And this is about the flower path. So this is how typical a client will be commenting about the geometry related elements. Client just give us this file. That's how client will give us. And we will do ATCHAIN, our team will do the translation. That's how we will do. That's what client were giving us. Yeah, that's how the model draft will be, the modeling related elements will be provided. And that's about how animation will be commenting. Animation pass be commented. It's like, okay, camera movement seems a bit choppy now. Movement should not stop, but still seems like a one continuous motion, just slower at the beginning and further the end than your very first draft. So this give us some narrations about each segment, each cameras. That will be fine for taking as comments about the animation pass. Or but if like for some certain situation, like client don't like our proposed camera, they will say, okay, you just refer to our screenshot for this actual for accurate like the camera pass movement. So this is how we propose camera, and client will say, okay, we prefer this one. So they just give us some screenshots of how they want like. Yeah. So that's how client will commenting about the camera pass and the geometry parts. And for the still image, client also will giving us comments. It's like, yeah, you can tell like more glow, and yeah, that's how client will give us. Too much. Okay, so that's how client will be commenting about the about interrupt, about the lighting reference. It's like, okay, so second left back may look too low, might need to raise, maybe catch up. Show a lot of people in many of the balconies, and the correct footprint. So this type of the comments that the client will give us about the rendering and post-production phase. Yeah. So I think the geometry comments is really about like the design itself, whether it's like it's about whether it's like curved scale, or whether it's like metal or concrete, and whether there's like hardscape, or it's green path, or it's about the path. So this kind of thing. But for the rendering and post-production phase, it's all about like, oh, the atmosphere is good, or is the atmosphere is not good, and the people is not good, well, is not good looking, and there's supposed to be a path, but there's no right. And this is about the maybe put more people, and the lighting can be a bit moody, can be a bit romantic. I like the golden hour. I don't want the blue, baby blue sky. So this kind of comments will be, we will love to receive from our client during the post-production phase. Yeah. And during the whole process, we will have like one round of high resolution animation provided. That's how the pipeline, that's how animation process will be proceeding with.